The Detroit Lions made a significant decision in their preparation for Week 2 of the NFL season by officially promoting linebacker Monty Rice to the active roster this Saturday. This move demonstrates the confidence of Dan Campbell's coaching staff in the potential of the 26-year-old, who brings with him a wealth of leadership and experience dating back to his college days. Rice built a solid career at the University of Georgia, where he started for 3 consecutive years, particularly in 2019, when he led the team in tackles, and in 2020, when he was honored as team captain. These achievements caught the attention of NFL scouts and paved the way for him to be selected in the 3rd round of the 2021 NFL Draft by the Tennessee Titans, with the 92nd overall pick. Upon joining the league, Rice signed a 4-year contract worth a total of $4.8 million, including a substantial signing bonus of nearly $900,000. He was expected to establish himself as a key player in the Titans' defensive system, but his fate took a different turn. During the 3rd year of his contract, the team decided to release him, opening the door for other teams to evaluate his talent. The New Orleans Saints were the next team to take a chance on the linebacker, signing him in December 2023. However, despite having a chance to compete for a spot during training camp, Rice ended up not making the final roster spot, being cut before the start of the following season. Undeterred, Rice remained on the NFL's radar and eventually received a new opportunity with the Detroit Lions. The Detroit team initially signed him to the practice squad after the preseason, allowing him to adapt to the team's defensive system and establish himself as a depth option for the active roster. Now, with the need to bolster their linebacker core, the Lions have officially elevated him to participate in the Week 2 campaign, signaling that he will be able to earn snaps in crucial moments and contribute both defensively and on special teams. It's worth remembering that in 2024, before arriving in Detroit, Rice had a brief stint with the New England Patriots. There, he appeared in 3 games, recording only 1 tackle, but this experience, albeit brief, gave him more experience in the professional arena. His recent trajectory is that of a resilient athlete who doesn't give up in the face of adversity and constantly seeks to reinvent himself to remain competitive in a league as demanding as the NFL. For the Lions, Rice's addition to the active roster represents not only an immediate reinforcement, but also a bet on a player who has demonstrated leadership on the field in the past, and who may find in Detroit the ideal environment to rekindle the brilliance he displayed during his years at Georgia. Now, fans are eager to see how he'll fit into Dan Campbell's aggressive defense and become a reliable addition to the linebacker rotation throughout the season. So, Lions fans, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Monty Rice can truly establish himself on the roster and earn a spot in this defense? Or will he just be a rotational piece for occasional moments? In my view, this is a smart move by the front office because it adds depth at a position that can be decisive in tight games. Rice has a history of leadership at Georgia and has shown he doesn't give up easily, which fits perfectly with Dan Campbell and this hard-working squad. Now, I want to hear from you. Could he be a positive surprise this season? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'll read them all and want to see what you think. And of course, if you enjoy these types of quick and comprehensive updates on the Lions, don't forget to like them, as they really help the channel grow and bring you more content. Let's move on to the next update. The final stretch of the NFL preseason is heating up, and along with it, trade rumors involving the Cincinnati Bengals and star Trey Hendrickson are gaining momentum. And of course, when it comes to elite pass rushers available on the market, the Detroit Lions always appear as one of the teams likely to be interested. The question that arises is, what exactly would the Lions have to give up to bring Hendrickson to Detroit? According to Diana Rossini and Paul Denner Jr. of The Athletic, the Bengals have been in talks for weeks about a possible trade, and the detail is that the request is anything but simple. Cincinnati is eyeing not only draft picks, but also impactful defensive players who can contribute immediately, demonstrating that they want not only to build a future, but also to keep the roster competitive in the present. Insider Jordan Schultz reinforced this information and was even more direct. The Bengals want to receive not only draft capital, but also 1 or 2 key players in exchange for the 2024 sack leader. Teams like the Cleveland Browns, Carolina Panthers, and Indianapolis Colts have already expressed interest, but the Lions are seen as a potential key player in this game. The problem is that Detroit would have to evaluate whether it's worth weakening another position to strengthen the defensive line, especially considering that Hendrickson is already approaching 31 and would require a multi-million-dollar contract extension. We're talking about something over $30 million per season, a very high value for a veteran player, albeit an extremely productive one. There is cap space in the short term. For 2025, the Lions have over $47 million available. But looking ahead, the scenario becomes more complicated. By 2026, the team already projects to be $43 million over the cap, which makes any long-term commitment even riskier. Only in 2027 will the situation return to balance, with a projected $72 million cap space. But until then, some hefty contracts will be knocking on the door. Aiden Hutchinson will need a hefty extension. Jameson Williams will be eligible, as will Brian Branch and Jahmyr Gibbs, meaning a significant portion of the cap will be tied up in young stars. If Hendrickson enters the equation, the team will have two edge rushers receiving massive salaries, and this would inevitably raise questions about the viability of this maneuver. On the other hand, it's important to consider that the Lions aren't desperate at this position. The team's management has been exuding confidence in the current group, and it can't be ruled out that Zadarius Smith will be re-signed for the 2025 season, bolstering the rotation in a more balanced manner and at a lower cost. Of course, the idea of Trey Hendrickson and Aiden Hutchinson playing alongside each other is exciting for any fan. After all, they would be one of the most feared duos in the NFL. But ultimately, between the high financial costs, the need to let go of impactful players, and the risk of compromising the team's future, everything suggests that Brad Holmes and the Lions management may end up opting for caution. The dream of seeing Hendrickson in Honolulu blue may capture the fans' imagination, but the chances of it becoming a reality seem much slimmer given so many practical obstacles. And now I want to hear from you, Lions fans. Do you think the team should risk it all and bring in Trey Hendrickson, even with a high price tag in draft picks, players, and a multi-million-dollar contract? Or would it be smarter to keep the roster as is and consider the team's financial future? In my opinion, while it's tempting to imagine Hendrickson playing alongside Hutchinson, the price seems too high and could jeopardize long-term planning. But of course, that's just my opinion, and I'd love to hear yours. So leave a comment below and let me know what you would do if you were in Brad Holmes' shoes. Would you take a risk or play it safe? Don't forget to like and share this news with more fans. Remember, this really helps the channel grow. Thank you very much, and see you next time.